How have you come back? Obviously, it's a big injury you went through. How have you been able to bounce back?
Just daily, just kind of staying in the training room after practice, maintaining what I've been doing, and just kind of pushing. I know some days are going to be a bit tougher than others, but Rayola's kind of working with me. Just making sure that each day I'm taking a step forward, step forward, step forward. Can't ever go back.
What's the hardest part about coming back?
Honestly, just getting back into playing football because tore it in October, so about 10 months since I had played football. So that first practice was pretty tough, and then after that kind of initial shock, it just kind of felt like my first spring ball when I first got here. That initial shock, all right, that's what it is. We're playing football. That's what it is.
What is that feeling, like that initial shock when you come back after the 10-month layoff?
It's tough. It's tough on the body. You just kind of have to roll with the punches and progress and try to get better at one little thing, whether it's your hand placement or something like that, your conditioning, any of that. You just kind of have to make sure that you're continuously getting better each day.
It was a small kind of taste for you last year. I mean, what did you take out of those couple games that you're able to play? And I guess how's that helping you now as you kind of get back into it?
There really wasn't a whole lot to go off of. I wish I would have had some more film to put out there, but I felt confident. I got those first game jitters out, and me and Turner were kind of talking about how we were kind of lucky to play so early, and then just get those first game jitters out of the way, those first starts out of the way, so that now I can just kind of roll back in like nothing really ever happened. I don't have to worry about, oh boy, it's my first start. And it's just kind of good to get all that stuff out of the way first.
So when you get that spot against Michigan and the injury happens, what's the level of frustration you feel like you start making the improvements?
Yeah, it was tough. I wasn't really planning for that, but everyone that gets that injury, they're never planning for it. ACLs really don't do much unless you're tearing them. So it was kind of just leaning on my teammates a lot. They kind of got me through that whole process because you kind of feel isolated. They're all moving forward with the season, and you're kind of stuck. You got to do your own thing, and just kind of being with them really helped.
What do you make of the way that the depth has developed around some of you guys who were out in the spring, and now you guys still got some guys who are nicked up now?
We've said it in this room. It's anything could happen. I went down. Bryce had to step up, and I feel like right now we're really good at depth. And if next man up mentality, if someone's not cutting it and they're not doing their job, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, it's got to be next man up. And that just pushes everyone in the ones and twos that, okay, I got to keep going because the person behind me can take my spot if I'm not doing my job.
How much mixing and matching does Raiola do just because of his NFL background? He's used to only having like 7 linemen in an NFL roster.
Yeah, we mix some people up. People are going down with early in camp with cramps or something like that. You'll see some mixing up. It's just kind of depending on what kind of plays we're running, what scheme we're running, when he's going to be mixing people, who he needs, when he needs them. Just kind of like that.
The fact that Turner's going through some tough times, you mentioned how your teammates were there for you. How important is it for you to be there for Turner no matter how long he's out?
Oh, yeah. It's important. It is, we're a unit, we're a family, this whole team, and we've had meetings on meetings on meetings about how this team can't just be a team. It can't just be that. It needs to be a family. And guys being around each other and just kind of supporting them and knowing what they're going through, it's just so vital to get somebody through that tough part in their life.
Who do you see as some of the guys who are like that next layer of protection? If someone goes down or someone's not doing what they're supposed to do?
Anyone, really. If I were to go down, I know that there's at least 3 people that could come up. If I know that left guard, right tackle, anybody goes down, I know that there's guys in this entire offensive line group that can just come up and fill that spot.
What kind of tests have O'Shawn and Garrett and Caleb and those guys given you tackles in camp?
They're pretty good, and it gives me a lot to work on. Coming back and starting to play football. Okay, I'm going against Garrett. Okay, I'm going against O'Shawn. Those guys who are elite pass rushers, in my opinion. I think it just kind of helps improve my game, and then hopefully I'm giving them a good enough look so that their game's being increased also.
Is O'Shawn different than what you've had before on this team the last couple of years?
Yeah. I would, him and Caleb are kind of similar with the way that they play. I think O'Shawn definitely brings a new element of can get out into space, kind of where some guys couldn't be able to. I think O'Shawn has that element to be a bit more mobile like that.
During recent times during the spring, we saw shorts again today. How do you guys try to keep them engaged and make sure that
Well, you know, me and Turner went through the whole spring together out, and Raiola is one of those guys where if you're out, you're not out. You know, you're still involved. You need to be involved with everything that we're doing because you know, it's like if you can understand from a coaching perspective, almost like a coaching perspective, then you're going to understand. If you can communicate what you're supposed to be doing, you're going to be able to do it. And that's just kind of like what that role is. If you're hurt or something like that, is you need to be engaged in practice, in drills, watching the same amount of film as everybody else. So there's really, the only drop off is the physical part. And mentally, you're still fully engaged like you're at practice, like you're practicing.
We saw Turner in practice last week. How was he looking before?
Good. You know, he's looking good. I know he's not too thrilled about his situation, but I know he's getting through it, going to be back soon, and he's doing good.
I know Coach Ross has talked a lot about, you know, coming off the ball with, you know, fire is that big thing for him. I mean, how differently are you guys being taught things now versus maybe before, or I guess how much of an adjustment has that been for the offensive line?
You know, the adjustment, they did a good job of when Raiola got in here, we started drilling right away, and the adjustment was early. We had to be adjusted early, so before spring ball even, we were adjusted to it. So it's now more of a consistency thing, keeping that if you're getting tired or going on a 6, 8, 10 play long drive, you know, you have to be consistent with what you're doing. And consistency, you know, it builds trust amongst the line, amongst the backs. They see that, okay, consistently, this is the look I'm going to be getting. That's, you know, where I'm going to be hitting that hole. So just consistency is one of the biggest things that we have to work on right now.
It seems like